Hi, I'm Cole with Piranha Squirrel Productions, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the easiest way to make your NPCs come alive. Alright, number one, it's super easy. A name. Okay, names are really difficult to pick, and picking a good NPC name can be a challenge. There are tons of NPC name generators and different random tables to list, and you can even spend hours and hours just picking out particular names for your NPCs. A quick tip for NPC names: they need to be pronounceable, and if they're not pronounceable, they need a nickname, or you need to give them some kind of title that they can be called, like the King, or the Cobbler, or the Herald, or something, so that your players can actually refer to the NPCs in the world instead of trying to figure out your 17-syllable first name of the sweeper who's at the front door. Like, why does this guy have such a long name? Why don't just call him like Bo or Jack or, I don't know, Sweeper Guy, right? Make it simple for your players. Look, I'm only saying this because I've made that mistake, and I made super complicated names and my players couldn't remember who they were. So they came up with a different name for them that was a lot shorter. And if that happens at your table, just go with it. Let the players pick a different name. Let them call them the wrong name. It can be really funny actually at the table sometimes. Yeah. All right. The next thing that your NPC needs is an appearance. They need to look like something. You need to have some kind of visual imagery to go along with your characters so that they can stand out to the players and they can remember them. Now, physical appearance can be a long and elaborate description, or it could be a quirk. And I highly recommend just using the quirk instead. A quirk is something that's unique to them, something very flavorful that not many other people would do, like wearing hyper bright colors and giant glasses. Looking at you, Elton John. There are lots of different things that you can use to pull out quirks for your NPCs, but I have created some lists for you on random tables. You can check out the links below. It is Pay What You Want right now on DriveThruRPG. It's called How to Make an NPC, and in there I have tons of lists of quirks that you can use to flavor your different NPCs that you're making. The important thing to remember when you're making a quirk, if you're not just going to pick out the ones from those lists, is to make it pop and be unique. It's got to be something different and special that other people aren't likely to have. And there are lots of different things that fit this category, like wearing sneakers and a dress or something. I mean, well, that doesn't really fit for fantasy. Like having a really giant gold ring and the rest of their body is poor clothes, or wearing a wand behind their ear, kind of like a pencil, and artists. Something like that that really can stand out and pop, that your players will remember your characters for. The last thing your NPCs need is a motivation or a problem or an alignment. They kind of all go together, even though each of those things is its own separate piece. You want to be thinking about them kind of all at the same time. What is their immediate problem right now? Now, this problem doesn't have to be known to the players. Maybe it's something very personal that they're unlikely to share to the characters. Or maybe it's super obvious, like they're seeking out the characters because they have something those NPCs need to deal with right now, like a fire, or their daughter went missing, or they've lost something. And all of these would be great hooks for your characters to jump onto. And your NPCs can be the ones delivering it to them as their immediate problem. Or it could be something that's more of like a long-term goal, like they need to figure out how to find a treasure, or maybe they need to get a castle for some reason. It could be long-term goals as well, and not necessarily obvious to the NPCs. Mix and match and change it up to keep things lively for your players. Now, if you can't think of a motivation or a problem that is immediate right in the moment, that's okay. All you need is an alignment. And there's lots of different alignments that you can choose for your NPCs. I recommend using the basic D&D lawful and chaotic and neutral if you want a more basic game, or you could go good and evil and neutral as well, but there's a lot of connotations with good and evil and lawful and chaotic and whatever other alignment you want to give your characters. So you might just think of it as like altruistic or narcissistic. And these have psychological backgrounds that you can go look up and kind of get a feel for how these characters might behave. What you really want is just what those characters generally are likely to do and behave, because this can determine how they respond to the players. This is the key. How they are going to respond is key when making the NPC. All right, that is the NAM method for you. Name, appearance, and motivation. You have those three things and you're good. Now, you could say man method, but I don't want to be biased to just male characters. We want male and female and everything in between kind of characters for your role-playing game. It makes it a lot more interesting. Having said that, you might think about this and make sure that you don't just have all males or all females in your role-playing game as NPCs, unless there's some reason why it's all males or all females, which actually would be an interesting hook. Feel free to take that. Well, thanks for making it this far. Like, subscribe, and share this with your friends.